नमस्सर्वेभ्यः. Indian knowledge system Bharatiya Jnana Parampara is gaining global grounds. The Vedas are the cornerstone of IKS. Having studied the complete Krishna Yajurveda traditionally, here is a small presentation on Kathopanishad. The first Valli of Kathopanishad has three important boons of Nachiketa. Let me begin with the Mangala Shloka, Shanti Mantra. Om Sahanavavato Sahanau Bhunakto Sahaviryankaravavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Krishna Yajurveda Kathopanishad begins with a story. उशन हवैवाजश्रवसः सर्ववेदसं ददौ तस्य नचिकेता नाम पुत्र आस. There was a king by name Vajashravas who had a son by name Nachiketa. Vajashravas was happened to perform a yaga called Vishwajit. During the performance of Vishwajit yaga, he was supposed to give away all his possessions. But unlike the ritualistic practice, he was indulged in giving away the useless cows, the feeble cows. The cattle which are of no use to the receiver was clearly observed by Nachiketa. Taking note of the non-ritualistic practice of his father, Nachiketa got intrigued. He wanted to ask his father, and he repeatedly asked, "To whom you are giving me to?" In the initial request, the father ignored it, but when the same request was repeated with agitation, he said, "I am going to give you to Yama." So Nachiketa went to Yamasadas where Yama was absent. After 3 days, Yama happened to come home. Yama observed that Nachiketa is not having any food for last 3 days. So he gave him the hospitality and offered that, "Please ask me 3 boons as a compensation of waiting for me for 3 days." So Nachiketa asked the first boon. शान्तसङ्कल्पः सुमना यथा स्याद्वीतमन्युर्गौतमो माभिमृत्यो त्वत्प्रसृष्टं माभिवदेत् प्रतीत एतत्त्रयाणां प्रथमं वरं वृणे. The first boon he has dedicated to his father. In fact, this boon is fully loaded with so many small little components. Shanta Sankalpaha, let my father be calm and quiet. Sumanaha yatha syat, let him have good thoughts, good emotions. Vita Manyur Gautamom Abhimrutyo, let him give up anger against me. So let him accept, after going from Yamasadas to my native place, let him accept with love and affection. So these components are combined as the first vara. Varanam esha varaha prathamaha. Without any second thought, Yama immediately granted the first vara. Yatha purastad bhavita pratita auddalakirarunirmat prasrashtah स्वर्ग यथा पुरस्ताद् भविता प्रतीत औद्दालकिः अरुणिः मत्प्रसृष्टः सुखं रात्रिः शयितावीतमन्युः त्वां ददृशिवान् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तम्. Let him have a good sleep, let him have good thoughts, emotions, and he will open heartedly accept you as before. Now it is the time for the second boon. स्वर्गलोके सत्वमग्निं स्वर्गमध्येश मृत्यो प्रब्रूहि त्वं श्रद्दधानाय मह्यं स्वर्गलोकामृतत्वं भजन्त एतद्द्वितीयेन वृणेवरेण. In order to go to Swargaloka, one needs to perform the Agni Vidya. So Agni Vidya is the vehicle through which one can achieve Swargaloka. Please grant me the Agni Vidya. This is the second boon, for which Yama was graciously, happily accepted to give away the Agni Vidya. Tamabravit priyamano mahatma varam tavehadya dadami bhuyah. So he said, I am going to give you all the secrets of Agni Vidya, and having given away the Agni Vidya, Nachiketa immediately reproduced whatever Yama has initiated him to. Being very happy about the shrewdness of Nachiketa, Yama gave one additional vara, one additional boon, saying that this Agni Vidya henceforth be known after you, after your name. Henceforth, the Agni Vidya will be called as Nachiketa Agni Vidya. Now it is the time for the third boon. In the third boon, there is a lot of discussion and compromise about the third boon. येयं प्रेते विचिकित्सा मनुष्ये अस्तीत्येके नायमस्तीति चैके एतद्विद्यामनुशिष्टस्त्वयाहं वराणामेष वरस्तृतीयः. Some people say that there is a life after death, and some other feel that there is no life. Please give clarity about the life after death, for which Yama, who was very gracious in the previous two boons, he is trying to deviate or dilute the boon. He says, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura tvancha mrityo Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura nahi suvigneyamanuresa dharmaha anyam varam nachiketo vrinishva mamoparotsi ritimasrijainam. Even the gods have contemplated long before, but they could not get the secrets of life after death. It is a very subtle subject, hence I would rather recommend that you opt for something else. I am going to give you. But Nachiketa uses the same argument of Yama, and he uses it against Yama himself. He says, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam kila tvancha mrityo yanna sugneyamatha vakta chasyatvadraganyo na labhyaha varanam vakta chasyatvadraganyo na labhyaha nanyo varastulya etasya kaschit. I am not going to compromise on my third boon, because even the gods have contemplated on the same, but they could not get it, and you are the right person. None other than you can throw light upon this subject. Hence, I would kindly request you to provide me the third boon. Now it is the time for Yama, who gives a number of options for Nachiketa. He says, शतायुषः पुत्रपौत्रान् वृणीष्व बहून् पशून् हस्ति हिरण्यमश्वान् भूमेर्महदायतनं वृणीष्व स्वयं च जीव शरदो यावदिच्छसि. Ask for the boon through which you can live as long as you want. You will have the sons and grandsons who live for hundreds of years. You will have a great part of land on this earth. He doesn't stop here. He continues further. He says, एतत् तुल्यं यदि मन्यसे वरं वृणीष्व वित्तं चिरजीविकाञ्च महाभूमौ नचिकेतस्त्वमेधि कामानां त्वा कामभाजं करोमि. If you find any other boon which is equivalent to this offer, you can ask without any hesitation. I'll make you the part of all pleasures that human beings can enjoy. And finally, he goes on to say that ये ये कामा दुर्लभा मर्त्यलोके सर्वान् कामान् छन्दतः प्रार्थयस्व इमाः रामाः सरथाः सतूर्याः न हीदृशा लम्भनीया मनुष्यैः आभिर्मत्प्रत्ताभिः परिचारयस्व नचिकेतो मरणं मानुप्राक्षीः. ये ये कामा दुर्लभा मर्त्यलोके, all the rarest of the rare desires, pleasures you can ask for without any hesitation. Sarvan kaman chandatah prarthayasva. As per your wish, you can ask anything that I am going to give except this boon, that is life after death. And finally, he says, Nachiketa says, श्वोभावामर्त्यस्येदन्तकैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणाञ्जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवितमल्पमेव तवैव वाहास्तव नृत्यगीते. The frivolous enjoyment, pleasures of the world are not to be considered equivalent to the immortal happiness. Shvobhavamartyasya yadantakayitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. By consuming these, one loses the potential. The more one consumes, the higher is the rate of loss of inner strength. And he goes on to say that navittena tarpaniyo manushyaha लप्स्यामहे वित्तमद्राक्ष्म चेत्वा जीविष्यामो यावदीशिष्यसत्वं वरस्तुमे वरणीयस्स एव अजीर्यताममृतानामुपेत्य जीर्यन्मर्त्यः क्वधस्तः प्रजानन् अभिध्यायन् वर्णरतिप्रमोदान् अतिदीर्घे जीविते को रमेत. I am not at all interested in worldly pleasures. Atidirghe jivite ko rameta. Who will be happy on living the trivial life of worldly enjoyment? And finally he says, Yasminnidam vichikitsanti mrityo yatsam paraye mahati bruhinastat yoyam varo gudhamanupravishto nanyantasman nachiketa vrinite. I wanted to know the self, the Brahman, the Atman. Atma Vidya is the only thing which I am looking for. I am not going to compromise anything else. So, this is the sum and substance of the first valli of Kathopanishad. Thank you for your patient listening. And before the conclusion, there is a Upodghata Bhashya in Shankara Bhashya, wherein Adi Shankaracharya has given the etymology of Upanishad word Upa ni upasarga purvaka sad dhatoho visharna gati avasadhaneshu evam trishu artheshu vidyamanasya sad dhatoho क्विप् प्रत्यये उपनिषत् इति शब्दः निष्पद्यते इति उपनिषत् शब्दव्याख्यानम् अनन्तरम् अनुबन्धचतुष्टयस्य उपस्थापनं कृतवन्तः. एवम् अत्र विषयाः उपस्थिताः इति शम्.